We're stepping up the number of episodes this time. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Adventure Time, episodes 9 through 13. That's right, 5 episodes this time, instead of just 3 or 4. And we're stepping it up simply because I was told 12 and 13 are a two-parter. So, yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. I guess that kind of tracks. Just, I could have done 3 episodes, but, you know, I'll just raise it up to 5 this time. I have the time this week. We can do it. I don't know what's to come. Pretty much as always, I have no idea what's going to happen in these episodes. And with Adventure Time anyways, you just never know what's going to happen anyway. So, there's not really much I can predict or talk about going into this. I don't think we're going to get anything more with Patient St. Pim anytime soon. Maybe at the end of the season, but yeah, not this soon. I guess we'll just have to see how it goes down. Because, yeah, I don't know at this point. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what we're going to get into. Probably some pretty crazy stuff. So we have 5 episodes, but since the last 2 are two-parter, it's technically 4 stories. I wonder what this is going to center around. Let's find out. But before we do, I want to remind you all real quick that we have a lot of great content to check out on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions. And on Monday specifically, we also have YouTube reactions, or at least YouTube adjacent. Shorts, specials, miniseries that just don't have a lot of episodes, or, surprise, surprise, actual YouTube videos. Pretty much anything that doesn't quite fit into a normal series or movie reaction, it goes in this slot. And speaking of movie reactions, we have those every Saturday and Sunday. I pre-record them during the week, but upload them on the weekend, just so that I have reactions every day of the week. Has some sort of reaction content. And we currently have a couple of Let's Plays going. We have Horizon Forbidden West being posted every other day. So, you'll see one today on Wednesday, you'll see one on Friday, on Sunday, and so on and so forth. Every other day. We also have Poppy Playtime on Saturdays. This is a donation reward for Venom. And this Saturday will be the final part of Chapter 1, which is all we can do right now, because that's all that's available on PS5 currently. After that, we will return back to Anno Mutationum and finish that off for as much as we've got left with that. Which, that in and of itself is a donation reward Let's Play for Matthew Vasquez. And if you want to know how to donate for future PS5 Let's Plays, go to the channel search, and in a single search, type in June Double Reward Month PS5. It should take you to the correct video that'll let you know everything you need to in regards to how to donate for a future PS5 Let's Play. So, all of that being said, thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. And let's get going on the reaction to these episodes of Adventure Time. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction because, yes, we do redirect all reactions on this channel. I understand. You don't want to have to go through all of these extra clicks, all this extra work, just to get to the reaction. You'd rather it be right here on this video. But you have to understand, YouTube's copyright system is utter bullshit. It is terrible, it is broken, it's not good. And because of that, posting actual reactions to the YouTube channel itself is dangerous. It can often come with channel strikes or even a channel termination. And I've dealt with both of those things in the past. I really don't want to deal with them again. They are such a hassle. And that's putting it lightly. They're terrible. And honestly, YouTube support does not give you the help you need. So to avoid all of that, we just push the reactions off to another site and link them down in the description below. And on the plus side, I'm able to give you the full unedited reactions completely free. That's right, no paywall, no subscription to Patreon, and you don't even have to sync up your own copy. I think that's pretty awesome, because not a lot of YouTube reactors are able to get away with that due to various reasons. Whether it be monetization reasons, whether it be copyright reasons, or just other stuff like that. They have a lot of valid reasons, but I do pride myself on being a channel that can give you the full unedited reactions completely free. Especially with not having to sync up your own copies. And I hope you enjoy them. I hope you appreciate that I can give you that. That being said, after you watch the reaction, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. But also may contain just my general thoughts on things, on the season, on the series so far, and maybe even some stuff related to the channel. You never know. It's always worth checking out just to be safe. But yeah, let's get into this. I want to thank you so much for tuning in once again. And yeah, for now, I'll see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. I don't know if the next episode, episode 14, is going to like right away go into more stuff, because it's like this stuff with the Finn sword and Finn, like, you know, being really wrecked by that. It took a couple episodes for that to actually come into play after, you know, it got broken in the first place. So it's like, I don't know if they're going to go right into more stuff with this as it is. And don't tell me, by the way. But it's like, that is a really fucking rude place to end that. Like, no, it's not even because of the setups with, like, Susan sending that message, whatever that was. Like, that's one thing. I understand. I understood right when that happened that was not going to come into play this episode. That was going to be a thing for the future. But that ending, it ended so damn suddenly. And dog might start barking again, just warning you. Because, I guess not. Wow. Good job, Piper. But yeah, that was just so, like, sudden and confusing and what the fuck, that it's, like, hard to, like, kind of come to terms with, that it just, like, stopped. And Adventure Time has done this plenty of times before, but it's like, just, Jesus, why would you do that? Why would you do that right now? Let's talk about them in order, though. So I got my list up just so I can remember the titles. So we have 5 Short Tables. This one is kind of like a 5 Short Graybles episode, except, or whatever, like, number or whatever it is. But instead, Ice King is narrating it. The vignettes are about, like, Fiona and Cake, and honestly, that's all the vignettes are kind of within the same thing. And the theme of them all is tables, which, you know, is in the title. It was interesting, I guess. Seeing the Fiona and Cake stuff again was pretty fun. But other than that, I didn't really have any major thoughts on the episode. Like, getting to see more of Marshall Lee and everything was pretty cool. But yeah, like, no other real strong opinions on that, if I'm being honest. Then we had the musical. So yeah, this is the one that kind of continues off of Finn losing the Finn sword and everything after that was, you know, wrecked. he's deep in a funk, and so Bubblegum, Jake, and the others in Ooh formulate Plan C, which is basically a battle of the bands with Finn as the guest judge. We get to see Susan performing. We get to see Marcy performing with Death and LSP, which, what a combo. We get to see even a little bit of Ice King and whatnot. And yeah, I really like the Battle of the Bands thing. I just kind of wish that was more of the focus of the episode. Instead, Finn, while watching it, starts to hear this mysterious singing that no one else can hear. And he ends up finding this sentient face on the earth, which is made up of the titular music hole, which is the mouth, and then two eyes. He talks to the music hole and kind of like has some closure to all of his pain and misery lately, while also, praising and giving love to the hole itself, which has, been living for 1,000 years in kind of not really misery, but stagnation, I guess would be a better way to put it. Because it's like, as it said itself, it hasn't had the opportunity for misery or happiness because of it being so physically stagnant. So yeah, that episode was interesting, and it definitely touched on closure and dealing with, a traumatic event and whatnot. A very, very mature theme for the series, which isn't a surprise because Adventure Time has dealt with mature themes a lot, obviously. But that was actually really well done, and I just wish there was, like, a full episode dedicated to the Battle of the Bands concept, because I think that would just be really cool. After that, we have Daddy-Daughter Card Wars. So we have Charlie in this episode, one of Jake's kids. And I don't think we focused on a few of his kids at different times before, but I don't think we focused on Charlie before, because I definitely don't remember her. She's a tarot card reader. She's like a teenager, and she's very sassy and fun and everything. And she is just like a wonderfully enjoyable personality. Very much a lot like Jake, just a little less mature and a little more into, the kind of witchy stuff, I guess would be a good way to put it. Tarot and whatnot, and literally taking a bone from her father. It's like, Jesus fuck, what the hell. It's like, Jake, don't give your daughter one of your bones. Don't do that. But yeah, Jake is heading with her to a Card Wars tournament. Card Wars we had known about before. It's not a new thing for this series, and apparently it's an actual game too. You can actually get. But he's heading to this tournament, and he wants her to be his partner for it, because it's a 2-player game. Well, 2 versus 2. And she doesn't want to do it at first, but because with cards she doesn't prefer like trading cards and all, or card games basically. When it comes to cards, she likes them simple. Tarot is just kind of her deal. But she agrees to do it with getting the bone from her father, and she goes in, and while there, they end up meeting. I guess he was supposed to be an old friend of Jake's, but became sort of a rival in Jake's head only. After, I think we're supposed to gather, he took Moniker from him. Moniker is this little horse character, and it's made pretty clear, because Jake never refutes this. It's made pretty clear that Moniker and Jake used to be a couple, prior to, obviously, Jake meeting Lady Rainicorn and all. So, Moniker is an ex, and let me see if I can find this name here. Grand Prix. Grand Prix is, I guess, Jake's former friend who stole, not necessarily stole, but just like won over Moniker, and that upset Jake, and he became, he started to dislike Grand Prix because of it. Plus, there's the entire incident that we saw in, I guess, the flashback with the Card Wars match. So it's like he's kind of held this grudge for all this time. They play one game in this tournament, and Charlie decides to peace out because she got what she needed, and she just doesn't want to play anymore. She heads to Egypt after kind of turning into this like giant like spirit thing. It's not like she's stretching her body like her father does. She kind of like turns into like a spiritual form and then grows to massive literal globe-trotting size to where she can just cross over the entire earth in like a few steps. She goes to the remnants of Egypt, goes to a pyramid where I guess she's been staying, and performs this ritual to increase her tarot reading abilities. But through that, she discovers she's been kind of an asshole to her father. She's been unfair to him, and she's like pushed him away and all. And she realizes through looking at the possibility of her future throughout all these different decades that she needs to, make things right with him so that she can be content, that she can be, she can find happiness and all for the future. So she does. She goes back and she helps him out, and she helps him overcome some anger because while she was gone, he was, cheating by using his abilities to pretend she was still there. And he started doing some underhanded plays, and it was affecting him. She helped him calm the fuck down, and they worked together to eventually lose. Because, yeah, they still lost the tournament. But Jake let go of his grudge against Grand Prix and even congratulated him on the win. Jake had some notable growth here. Charlie had some notable growth. And we got a look into not only their relationship, but relationships Jake has had with others in the past. It's a really good episode, if I'm being honest. But it is overshadowed by the two-parter. Because this two-parter was fascinating. We have pre-boot and reboot. And both are really, really interesting. Because we have an adventure right away with Susan and our main duo, where they end up coming across Dr. Gross, who becomes sort of a mentor, I guess you could say, to Tiffany, who's back again. And Dr. Gross is a cyborg who is not only creating hybrid animal creatures who are also cyborgs, but has this psychotic level belief in the advancement of humanity, no matter the cost. Like, without necessary consent either. It's basically the idea like, oh, as a cyborg, I am better than you. You are beneath me. And I am going to force you onto my level. So you can be as good as I am. Because otherwise you are worthless. There are multiple things about that is excessively fucked up. A part of it kind of reminds me of the Cybermen from Doctor Who. But there's also just part of it that makes me think of a lot of like cyberpunk type stories. Not specifically like Cyberpunk 2077 or the Edge Runners anime that was based on it, but just in general, like cyberpunk genre stories that have had like this kind of like adapt or die idea to them. But though, to be fair, Edge Runners kind of has that in it too with David's stupidity. I'll just say. Um, One of the reasons I did not like the series, even if it is excessively popular, it's like I don't care if it's super popular. If I don't like it, I don't like it. And David's stupidity in forcing himself to upgrade constantly and shit to the point where it causes, fucking problems. Yeah, I think I think that is definitely one of the big reasons I did not like that series. But it's like we're shown here that not only is it bad, because it is shown to be bad in Edge Runners, but like you don't have like a hero character trying to justify it or anything. In fact, the heroes are so actively against it. It's only the villain and someone who is very, very blatantly the villain who is advocating for it. And they're shown to be crazy and just irredeemably unreasonable to think this way. And that definitely helps with digesting that. But in the end, they managed to escape thanks to Susan. And because Susan didn't eat the candy that was, drugged. We have literally candy being drugged given to a literal child, Finn. Jake is more of an adult and Susan's an adult, but Susan also didn't eat it. But Finn is literally a child and was given drugged candy. It's like, Jesus. Oh, okay. But yeah, Susan didn't eat it, so she's able to help them break out. And a lot of the hybrid animals, if not mostly all of them, also break out. And Tiffany stays behind to stop help them escape and stop the doctor. And then the narwhal bot they were in digs underground and just fucking explodes. And we're left to presume that both Tiffany and Dr. Gross are just fucking dead. But I mean, Tiffany survived being eaten, I guess. So it's like it's fully possible that she's still alive and everything somehow. Which also means it's fully possible that Dr. Gross is still alive and will probably come back. So that's interesting. But one of the hybrid animals they let loose, this giant electric eel, ends up escaping and heading towards the Candy Kingdoms. And that's where the second episode comes in. They try to fight it, but Susan gets shocked, and that combined with Finn kind of trying to check on her causes her implant, which Finn and Jake just found out about, to activate. And we got kind of like a little hint at things with that in the previous episode in Pre-Boot, with Dr. Gross almost mentioning what the deal with that was. And it's and from what we see in Reboot, it doesn't seem to be that she's a cyborg. It seems almost more like a mind control thing. Because the implant is actually like destroyed at the end, and Susan is saved from that. But yeah, it's like she ends up becoming like robotic and controlled and trying to take Finn, specifically Finn, somewhere. We never find out where that is, but like I said, she did send a message to someone, and we don't get much information on that, but that's definitely going to come back into play. On top of that, Uh, the fight is really exciting and interesting. It goes through a couple locations with different characters getting involved. And eventually, at the end, the grass sword starts trying to attack Susan, deeming her as a threat, I guess. Finn is able to stop it, but it detaches from uh, his arm, basically leaving him one armed again, and merges with the Finn sword, creating new life, and then it just ends. Because what the fuck? Um, these episodes, this two-parter, left a lot of big mysteries that have yet to be resolved, and gave us just so much interesting lore and questions that is absolutely going to be brought back. It's just a matter of when. I don't know if we're going to touch on it again right away next episode. I don't know if we're going to wait until like the multi-part special of this season. Islands, I believe. I don't know. But I feel like there definitely has to be more gone into here. And I feel like it has to be this season. Like, this doesn't feel like something that you can wait on until, like, another season or two. Especially since there's only, like, 2 seasons after this. This is very fascinating to me. And I'm very interested to see what happens next. But, for the time being, we're just going to have to put that on hold. The two-parter was definitely my favorite of this set of episodes. If I were to say which one specifically I liked more, it would be Pre-Boot Part 1. Because I liked Reboot as well, but it wasn't as fascinating to me. It was still fascinating as hell, but not as much so. Pre-Boot gave me a lot more to chew on, if you know what I mean. But I also really love Daddy-Daughter Card Wars. If I had to say one that was my least favorite, it would be 5 Short Tables. Easily. Because it's just like... I liked seeing the Fiona and Cake stuff. But the episode, it's like, obviously was a play on the Short Graybles episodes. But also just felt kind of pointless. It was kind of like a parody, a satire of those other episodes. It's Adventure Time satirizing itself. And just to be meta and jokey and whatnot. And it just... I don't know. I couldn't get into it as much. It is definitely the weakest of these 5 episodes. In fact, I would say it actually, for the most part, just progressively got better. That was the weakest. Then episode 10, Musical, was better than that. Daddy-Daughter Card Wars was absolutely great. Then we had Pre-Boot. If Pre-Boot and Reboot were like switched around, it would literally be just raising the scale each of these 5 episodes. But I mean, you have to watch them in order. So Pre-Boot just, it takes the lead from Reboot for me. But other people might feel different. Of course, it also depends on where this is going to go. We have to wait for that to happen next week or somewhere down the line or something. I don't know. Again, do not tell me. I don't want to be spoiled. But you can let me know what these 5 episodes, what you thought of them. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on these 5 specific episodes. No spoilers for the rest of this season, not even for like the next episodes coming up, or anything from the future at all. No spoilers. That being said, before we close this out, I do want to quickly remind you that we have a lot of great content to check out on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions. And on Monday specifically, we have YouTube, or at least YouTube adjacent reactions. Pretty much anything that doesn't quite fit in a normal series or movie reaction, yeah, it goes in this slot. And speaking of movie reactions, we have those every Saturday and Sunday. I pre-record them during the week, but upload them on the weekend so that every day has some sort of reaction content going on for it. And we're currently going through a couple Let's Plays on the channel. We have Horizon Forbidden West every other day. So you'll see it today, you'll have seen it today on Wednesday, you'll see it on Friday, then on Sunday, and so on and so forth, every other day. Puppy Playtime is also on Saturdays. We're finishing that up this coming Saturday. And we're only doing chapter 1 right now because that's all that's on PS5 at the moment. That is also a donation reward Let's Play for Venom. And if you want to know how to donate for a future PS5 Let's Play, go to the channel search, and type in all in one search, June Double Reward Month PS5. It should take you to the correct video that'll let you know everything you need to in regards to how to donate. That being said, thank you so much for tuning in as always. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.